Hello, welcome back to the Spirit Guide Daily. Hey guys, these are timeless messages that will find you when they're meant to. They are up on my YouTube channel through December 2023, Monday through Friday. After that, in January of 2024, I am starting a Patreon to do things like teach some magic and teach some tarot, teach some other things, and include these messages in it. Let's get moving on this. This is the Modern Day Spellcasters. It's going to be bringing you some predictive cards. Sometimes I use 3, sometimes I press out all the way to 5. It really depends on like the magnitude of the energy that is being faced that day. We're also going to use the Queen of the Moon Oracle, and this is the Quantum Expansion Oracle, I believe. Expansion of love. I genuinely forget at this point. It's going to tell you about which of your chakras and which areas of your life are being expanded. So it's kind of a download code type of oracle card. Here we go. Can I get going for the collective here? Please don't forget to subscribe. Hit the thumbs up button if you want to book me for a private reading. @therisingmoon.com is the only way to do so. It's linked in the description box down below. Let's get going. 6 of Swords in reverse. Okay, that's a card about death quite frequently. It's a card of closure. Sometimes it's delays. It's an interesting, like, whoa, hold your horses energy right out of the bat. That's coming out with the 7 of Swords in the upright. This can be the card of the lone wolf, as is depicted in this particular energy. It can be lies, deceit, manipulation. It can also be a strategy card and kind of treading very, very carefully. It can be a gunman. Honest to goodness, for my fellow readers, I have no reason to believe it is here. I have no reason to believe it is here. 10 of Wands in reverse, which is release, like letting something go. This is an interesting one. And then I have the Death card in reverse. Wow. So the Death card in the upright is a card of rebirth, of things like coming into this reality in a different shape and a different form, new cycles beginning. I have multiple cards that mean literal death, and we've got 2 of them on the table here, which is not to say, hey, be very, very afraid. Just kind of look for definitive endings when you get that many death markers. I don't have a figure to attach it to, but I kind of have this, the final page is written on something feeling. That like, it's just, I'm going to say you kind of close the door on your past. Even if you don't lock it entirely, it becomes memory versus this learning tool. And it's an important part of a journey, particularly when you're healing. What do we got here? We have awakening, ancient knowledge, memories, connection. All right. Honest to goodness, that's frequently a third eye. Yeah, it is. It's a third eye chakra energy. I was saying that as I realized that there are actually numbers for what chakra it corresponds to. Multiple ones came out in my hand, so we're just going to take the next one as well. The inspirational creation, the alchemy, elements, and innovation, not invocation, innovation. This is a really, really interesting draw because it's almost like you're being asked to do a release ceremony at the next full moon to definitively close out essentially a chapter in your life. What's really calling out to me in this one is the fire. And there's not normally a fire in the 7 of Swords. But I've got all this bringing something to an end. Even those are 2 markers for just plain old-fashioned death for me. I do not get the feeling it is death of a person. But like I said, it's almost like the end of something through effort and action to release. Because this is release and this is closure. It's an interesting energy. Please don't forget to do that invocation work, to do the full moon release ceremonies, and the new moons are for manifesting. And it's never wasted, and it does not need to be elaborate. It really does not need to be elaborate. Please remember, if by any chance you can't burn things where you are, because like it's simply not safe, you don't have an outdoor area that you can burn, you don't have a fireplace, remember you can light a candle and set up a salt plate in front of that invocation candle or that intention candle and simply You can anoint it with some lemon juice if you just have common household ingredients. I do banishing and spell breaker and probably blockbuster and a couple of other things to try and get rid of something. But if you're just trying to do a release ceremony at home, you're like, I really can't burn stuff. I live in an apartment, the smoke detectors will go off, etc., etc. Use a salt plate. Set up a salt plate where you take a small plate, you can go to the Dollar Tree and get, table salt. It does not need to be something fancy. And bless and empower that salt on the plate to release the energy that you are placing upon it. And then you write on a slip of paper what it is you're trying to release. If it's past trauma, if it's past pain, if it's past relationships, if it's past difficulties, if it's poverty, if it's worry. That's the idea behind it. And then you hold it in your hand and you ask the help of your guides, your guardians, your ancestors, your angels, if you also talk to angels, to help you release this. And then you place it on the salt plate in front of the candle and just leave it there. And the next morning you can deactivate it and then simply throw it away. And the way you activate something and the way that you deactivate it are the same thing. Here we've got sovereignty, which is Queen of the Moon. You're literally being asked to do a full moon release ceremony. The next one was pleasure, by the way, that was waning given. So I'm going to show you how to activate something just using this oracle card. You would hold it, your dominant hand over it. I am right-handed. You would hold your dominant hand over it and you would invoke whatever it is you work with. So for me, I'm saying, in the name of the Father, the Son, the Holy Ghost, I bless, activate, and empower this card to act as a portal to the energy of the moon, to the goddess of the moon, to allow me to release with the magic and the mystery of the full moon, the natural forces that are available to me. I ask that this card allow me to help release this. That's one of the ways you would activate it. Now you can use your own wording to deactivate it. You just hold the dominant hand over it again and you say, in the name of the Father, Son, the Holy Ghost, or whatever it is you're working with, I bless and deactivate this card and think it's for its purpose. So I just activated it and deactivated it on camera so you all know how to do it. But that's what you're being asked to do in this one. Now I don't know if this is coming up on a full moon, but I guess what I will do, since the message is so incredibly clear, is make sure this one goes up on the next full moon. Please do that. It's going to be the last full moon of the year. It's incredibly potent. Please do that. This is a strategy card, but honest to goodness, the strategy feeling and then the fire is really what's calling out to me. And I think some of you don't do your moon rituals because you've done them in the past and they haven't worked. Please look at it as like scraping off paint layer after layer after layer after layer until you get all the way to the bottom. If it hasn't worked entirely yet, it's because you haven't gotten to the bottom yet. But this is a getting to the bottom energy of it. So the advice around this is absolutely about do that to end a cycle in which it just felt like things didn't happen, like you didn't go anywhere, that all of your efforts, it almost feels like, come to naught. It's not that they come to naught. It's that it's been taking a while to balance the scale for you, and it's not that you did anything wrong. It, honest to goodness, is just some accumulated energy over generations. It was not a judgment of you. And what I always try to tell people who are the people who are releasing that generational trauma is whether or not you believe it, your higher self volunteered to do that so that you could be free and those you love could be free as well. And almost everybody in my collective is that type of person. And it does mean signing up to be like the soccer ball for the universe for a little bit, but then it ends and everybody's free. So that was the Spirit Guide Daily for today, all about please, please, please do your full moon release. And I don't normally do that. I normally mix them up and I don't pay any attention to the dates that they're going on to make sure that I'm called to the right dates. But I'm going to get this one up on the full moon or the days before that one. Please do that. It will do more good than you think it does, okay? It really is. It's like washing the last of something out of your hair. Think of it that way. All right, take care. Be well.